Hello everyone, I'm Charley Biddle, and today I will be discussing the literary journal, or literary magazine, Terrain.org. This is actually a picture that comes from their website, and their slogan is Place Climate Justice. Little bit of background. This magazine was founded in 1997 by Simmons Bunton and Todd Zebert. Bunton still acts as editor-in-chief as well as the director of Terrain Publishing, which is a nonprofit organization classified as a public charity. They are credited as one of the first completely online, environmentally oriented literary magazines. Awards and recognition. Terrain.org publishes several critically acclaimed series, including Letters to America, A Life of Science, and 20 Words During Lockdown, written by Pam Houston. These are meant to offer real-time responses to the social and environmental justice issues of the day. Other original works that were published in Terrain magazine have been awarded the 2023 John Burroughs Nature Essay Award, pictured on the left, and have been featured in other publications like Pushcart Prize Best of the Small Presses, Best American Essays, Best American Poetry, and countless others. Aesthetic. As far as their aesthetic goes, visually, their website is both engaging and interactive. They are very organized. I would say the only problem that one might encounter would be the amount of content they have to offer. Because Terrain.org likes to blend all sorts of visual media, which includes photography, as pictured on the left, and because of the amount of content, their website might be slightly overwhelming. The stories and genres preferred by Terrain.org center around themes of nature and humanity. Kinds of authors. Terrain.org strives to offer a variety of contributors that appeal to a diverse, informed, and progressive audience. This includes established icons of nature writing such as Wendell Berry and Jane Hirschfield, and essential new voices like Aisha Sabatini Sloan and Joe Wilkins. They've shown an intense interest in focusing on works by Indigenous, Native, Black, Brown, and other underrepresented voices. How many readers? According to the Poets and Writers database, Terrain.org is thought to have a circulation of at least 10,000 readers. For the sake of this presentation, I've selected two stories that I felt captured the essence of this magazine. The first comes from issue 26, whose theme was The Signal in the Noise. This was published on October 19, 2010. Its title, Wet Paper Grass, by Jasmine Drain. This short story of about 3,900 words is an example of Terrain's mission to combine nature with the gritty reality of life. Wet Paper Grass by Drain follows a group of kids from the Stateway Gardens Chicago Public Housing Project and comments on the underlying systemic racism that they will face when they are older. One line specifically highlights that idea. Admiring Black students at the community college and realizing that if you simply surrounded the building with a barbed wired fence and dressed people in orange jumpsuits, the community college resembled Cook County Jail. The second story that I chose to read was titled The Night of the Day of the Dead, written by Michael McGuire, published on February 13, 2020. It was the winner of Terrain's 10th annual contest in fiction, and it tells the story of Nadia and her experience on Dia de los Muertos. She mourns her father and on her walk home imagines speaking to him. Nadia was alone once more on one of the streets it only seemed to make sense, especially on the night of the Day of the Dead, to walk on alone, and yet she heard, in her inner ear, the voice of a younger, healthier father bending over to whisper to a very young girl, "Never forget, Yeha, you're not nobody, you're somebody, somebody." Submission specifics. Terrain.org has a plethora of submission periods, since their magazine blends all mediums cohesively. When, there's a breakdown pictured on the left. General submissions for nonfiction and fiction are held between October 1st and March 31st. Where, this magazine is fully online, so you would have to submit through Submittable. Furthermore, Terrain.org states on their website that poetry and prose submissions that are sent in hard copy or by email will not be read or returned. They ask that you give them about 16 weeks for general submissions. Publication specifics. This magazine is fully online, and they do not require payment to read or submit to their magazine. How often? Well, Terrain.org has switched from issue-based to a rolling schedule. What % of submissions are published? The Poets and Writers database states that 8 debut authors are published per year. Since they no longer operate on an issue-based schedule. Tips and tricks? I would definitely encourage anyone with a passion for nature or an appreciation for diversity to submit their work of any media, poetry, fiction, nonfiction, or to their contests. As far as fiction submissions go, they ask for short stories, excerpts from novels, and even radio plays. The only restriction that may cause problems is the maximum word count. Terrain.org allows up to 5,000 words max. Final thoughts. After completing this research presentation, I've learned so much about literary magazines and all of the specifics. I don't recall ever reading a literary magazine before, besides a self-published one from my old high school English class. There was so much information to surround yourself with, from submission guidelines to exploring the depths of the organization's history, or even perusing their extensive library of archived issues. I couldn't begin to imagine how much work takes place on the other end. I hadn't even delved into Terrain's editorial team, which consists of 2 boards of 30 members and 24 members, respectively. Well, that's my time. Thank you for joining me. Other original works that were published in Terrain's magazine. Other original works that were published in Terrain magazine